They said we were sick, broken, dangerous. But what if madness is a doorway?
1, 2, 3, 4.
When I was 18 years old, I read this academic article called Language, Thought, and Reality by Sapir and Whorf. It was about Hopi Indian conception of time. And it was basically about how, check this out, this is like deep. This is maybe the most interesting thing I'm going to say. In Hopi, traditional Hopi grammar structure, there's no past, present, or future. Okay? Different objects and people have different states of becoming. It's a completely different way of thinking about time. Okay? When I was 18 years old, it like sent me off the deep end or whatever. All these years later, I think, time is not what it seems like it is. Time is definitely not what it seems like it is. There's the linear time that we're living in, but I think that there's a lot of different timelines. And I think it's really important to all of us that we find the right things from the right timelines and we bring them to this timeline. Because somehow we're still here. I think there's a lot of other timelines where we blew ourselves up. I really think so. Deep in my heart, I believe that that's what had, the reason that shit is so weird is because we split the atom and we blew ourselves up a million times over. But we're still here. We still have a chance. We still have a chance. There's this old, I'm obsessed with the year 1977. I was born in 74, but 77 is the year that punk rock broke in New York and London and other places. And one of my favorite punk rock bands is this band called X-Ray Specs. Has anyone ever heard of them? Oh, good. All right. Yeah, so you know. Yeah, the singer of X-Ray Specs, her name was Polystyrene, and she died a few years ago, but she was brilliant, and she was a teenager when she was in X-Ray Specs. And when I was 18 years old, okay, so here's the thing with Polystyrene, they put out one record called Germ-Free Adolescence, and then she ended up losing her mind and joining the Hare Krishnas, and she was a Hare Krishna for many years. And then in 1993, when I was a freshman at Reed College in Portland, Oregon, Germ-Free Adolescence was reprinted, and I got a copy of it, and I brought it back to my my dorm room, and I listened to it, and I swear to you, as an 18-year-old, I was convinced that Polystyrene was a time traveler traveling from 1977 to me in 1993 to tell me that the world was about to end and I had to save it. That's what happened. That was what sent me on my journey. If you try on the X-Ray Specs, and you start looking around, especially at the kind of songs I listen to a lot of 80s pop music and punk rock music, because that's my generation or whatever. It's all about the end of the world. The world has already ended. It's already ended, and they're telling us that the world has already ended, and they're warning us. You heard it from the crazy guy. But I really believe it, and I think that in some ways, time is not linear. It's cyclical. It goes around and around and around. And I think that we have a really important role to play. I really, in the deepest of my heart, believe that we have an important role to play. The mad people have an important role to play in the salvation of the world. I'm going to tell you how it's going to go. This is let's check back in a year, okay? Let's check back in a year and see if what I'm saying stands up to time. I don't know how many people here have been messing around with AI? How many here have used ChatGPT and stuff? Ooh, yeah. But anyone have any weird experiences with it? Anyone? I think, all right, my dad was a Marxist, all right? He was beaten by nuns in Catholic school in Queens in the 1950s, and that turned him into a Marxist. And very basic like 101 Marxism is that capitalism is a stage. Capitalism is a stage that we go through, and the infrastructure needs to be developed so that we actually have like stuff that will sustain people. And once it's developed, their idea was that there was going to be this what do they call it? Dictatorship of the proletariat, and we were like, yeah, that didn't work out so great, right? But in some ways, it seemed like I can imagine the future. I think that if you look, like I said, I wasn't raised by religious people, but I think if you read the books, like that book that people walk around with, the different books, they all say the same thing. There's going to be a judgment day. There's going to be an end of the world. And then there's going to be a new world that comes afterwards. And I sincerely believe that the people who are like the rebels and the freaks and the weirdos and the ones who've been stewarding the ideas all these years, like the people who have been like keeping the flames alive, like they're going to play the role in flipping the script. And that's what I see coming. So I know it's intense. It's intense. It's not light. And it's not the kind of thing you hear every day, I imagine, but it's not the kind of thing I'd ever thought I'd find myself saying. I'm going to leave you with this quote from this band, The Avengers, who were like a San Francisco 1977 punk band. You should go back and look at them. If you Google The Avengers, you won't find them. All you'll find is a bunch of Marvel comic stuff. But if you keep digging, maybe Avengers, punk rock, whatever, you'll find it, and you'll find that there was another teenage girl named Penelope Houston, who was the singer of The Avengers in 1977. And what she said was, we are the ones who bring the future. We are the ones who bury the past. A new species rise up from the ruins. We are the ones that were made to last. We are the one. Thank you.